Back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program is brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. For 48 years, the Haynes family has been protecting East Tennessee homes and businesses from insects, pests, and the diseases they carry. Now they even have a wildlife division for big pests. You got any kind of wildlife animal that's snuck into your home this winter, you can get them out and block them forever by getting Southeast Termite and Pest Control to come out to your house. Use who I use, Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, Jeremy Pruitt unveiled his staff for the upcoming season on Friday, and while the names weren't surprising, some of the moves were. Only 4 coaches will be handling the same duties as a year ago. On this chart, you see the new guys, or the guys that are moving, are over on the right. You see the gold stuff over there. That'll show you where they were last year or what they coached last year. So only 4 guys remaining in the same position: Chris Rumpf, Tracy Rocker, Will Friend, Brian Niedermeyer. Jim Chaney came in. You changed both coordinators out. Jim Chaney comes in. So does Derek Ansley, and we knew that last week. And Jimmy, you pointed out that you had heard that he's going to come for a coordinator title, and then we kind of joked about the fact that, well, he'll be yet another co-defensive coordinator. No, he's getting it. Kevin Shearer has been bumped to special teams coordinator, and not only is Ansley getting the defensive coordinator title and $1 million, he's also getting the play calling duties on the defensive side. And speaking of $1 million, you now have $2 million coordinators, Chaney at about 1.5 and Ansley at about $1 million. I'll start with you, Jimmy. The fact that Jeremy Pruitt is giving up the play calling duties after 1 year of doing it, surprising to me.
It was to me too. I did think Ansley would come in with a title, but I did not think he would be calling the defensive signal. So, and I wonder if that was a decision that Jeremy Pruitt felt on his own, that he needed to be able to oversee everything about the team as opposed to focusing more on defense, or somebody influenced him, hey, that's probably the direction you need to go. One thing Pruitt did say was that when he talks to Ansley, Ansley could finish his sentences. So apparently they feel like he feels like that guy's on the same page with him.
Well, I wonder, no telling, but you do wonder, Philip Fulmer didn't call his own plays. He was a successful offensive coordinator, and as soon as he became head coach, you took more of some of those guys like Steve Spurrier continued to call plays. Other guys take the CEO approach. Right. He took the CEO approach. I wonder if he had any of those conversations with Jeremy Pruitt, or maybe Pruitt got that from somewhere else, or maybe he just decided on his own. But we talked about it last year. Was it a good thing or a bad thing? Year one, first-year coach, for him to be calling his own plays. Most of the panel said, that's fine. If you're going to do it, do it. I'll give him credit, though, for recognizing, that didn't work as well as I thought. I'll make a change. Beats the hell out of just doing the same thing and it not working again. So I'll give him credit for making a change.
I mean, I think they've probably gone back by this point. You reviewed the entire season 2 or 3 times anyway. And
probably sleepless nights.
A lot of sleepless nights. So, I mean, I think, when you go back and you do that stuff, and he realizes that he might have let some other things slip away from him a little bit. And I think moving Shearer to special teams coordinator, good idea. Because remember, we were talking about, were they just going to go without one?
Yeah.
And I think that's a bad move. So I think that's a good idea.
Not having one is a bad move. So you like having one.
Yes.
So he's the onside kick coach now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey, that was my line, Mike. Come on.
Well, he'll be doing that a lot.
Now, let's take Kevin Shearer. He came here from Georgia to be the defensive coordinator, and now he's special teams coordinator. He's sticking around, from what we gather. He's not going anywhere. I wouldn't think that would – maybe, for all we know, he went in and said, I don't want this job anymore. I really want to work with kickers. But your thoughts on his position, it doesn't look good from the outside.
It doesn't look good from the outside, but technically he wasn't really the defensive coordinator anyway, was he?
Well, he wasn't calling the plays, but
right.
his title was
Pruitt was. I mean, I still go back
to
I think it's a good move for Pruitt, because remember last year when he went over and kicked the wipey board or whatever during the game? The game's still going on, and you're thinking, you're the head coach now. You're not just the defensive coordinator. I think it's a good step and a good move in the right direction, because you're also hopefully giving a little bit more of the control on offense too. You're giving up some of that too for the big picture.
The question is, I'm someone who's always trying to change my stripes, You get to a point in life and it's like, I really got to stop doing this. And you just can't. You're wired to be X. And I wonder, all this looks good. I'm ceding control to other guys. After the first loss next year, I wonder if Jeremy Pruitt isn't saying, Give me that play sheet back. I mean, that's a test. He's still a young coach.
Third quarter of the BYU game.
Thoughts on $2 million coordinators at Tennessee? Philip Fulmer said he was going to put his money into football. He clearly is putting into football. I've talked to some people that say there are other folks over there on campus, other coaches of other sports who think they're putting a little too much into football. But your thoughts on $2 million coordinators at Tennessee?
Have another yard sale. Make your money. I mean, it's the sport that pushes every other sport at Tennessee. So when football suffers, everything I think suffers to a degree on some end.
But
You will suffer more if it doesn't work.
yeah, how much is going to depend on how well Ansley does. You know,
Yeah, you showed them the money. Now they got to show you something. It's got to make you better. You've got to get considerably better to justify it.
There's some sentences I don't think Ansley wants to finish for Pruitt.
You got the ante on expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To me.
it does when you're
Yeah.
throwing that kind of money
And
around.
one other quick thing, I wonder if Pruitt would have relinquished the defensive signal calling if Charles Kelly had stayed. Because if Kelly had stayed, there's no Ansley coming in. So I wonder if he would have continued calling defensive signals if Kelly hadn't left.
Interesting. All right. Did Jeremy Pruitt, speaking of Jeremy Pruitt, did he just get a year zero? Remember the year zero, Derek Dooley? Everybody was mad when Dooley said year zero. People were mad about Butch Jones at year zero. Did Pruitt was 2018 year zero? We'll tell you why I'm asking that. But next, a look at past Final Four teams to see how this year's Vols stack up. Interesting stuff. A little negative and a little positive for those of you that want to put things in that perspective. Come on back.